r/AskReddit, what's an invention that's still around today, but has lost sight of its original purpose? Paintball guns. They were originally called paintball markers, and were invented as a way for loggers and park rangers to mark trees for trimming, cutting down, etc. without having to walk up to each tree with spray paint or something. A couple of dudes who were using them started shooting at each other for fun, and paintball as a sport was born. In fact, some people still call them markers to avoid the stigma some associate with the word gun. Nalgene bottles, the plastic water bottles that are popular with hikers/campers/other outdoor activity folks, were originally created for use as medical/scientific lab equipment as a lighter, shatterproof alternative to glass. Electric pen by Edison are now tattoo machines. Play-Doh was supposed to be a wallpaper cleaner originally. From Wikipedia, aspartame. Aspartame was discovered in 1965 by James M. Sclater, a chemist working for GDC Ryland Company. Sclater had synthesized aspartame as an intermediate step in generating a tetrapeptide of the hormone gastrin for use in assessing an anti-ulcer drug candidate. 53. He discovered its sweet taste when he licked his finger, which had become contaminated with aspartame, to lift up a piece of paper. 7. 54. 55. Torranateris Guerin participated in the development of aspartame as an artificial sweetener. 56. Superglue. I think it was originally an instant suture in medkits for soldiers in Vietnam. Maybe it's been said already, Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper were originally marketed as medicine and health tonics. I believe Dr. Pepper's original name was something like Drive Pepper's Health Elixir. Georgia Meister used to be a cough/cold medicine to help keep mountain climbers in the Alps warm. To be fair, it still can keep you warm, and it still tastes like cough/cold medicine. The best man at a wedding was the best swordsman the groom could afford. If anyone objected to the wedding, the best man would duel him. The honeymoon lasted a whole month after the wedding, where the bride's father would supply the groom with all the mead he could drink. Microwave transmitters were originally created to transmit radar signals in WWII. When a worker noticed that being near the transmitter melted a candy bar in his pocket, it led to the development of the microwaves that we use in our homes today. Kleenex. Its original purpose was to act as insulation in gas masks during World War I. After the war, its parent company advertised it as a way to remove makeup. There are several drugs that would make the list. Coke and Viagra for sure though. The dashboard. Originally it was a literal board of wood used to protect people from mud and debris from when their horse-drawn whatever would travel at gallop speeds. Now it gives me information about my vehicle's current state and provides audio entertainment. Hitachi Magic Wand. It was originally intended as a massage menstrual pads. They were invented to soak up blood in bullet wounds. After the war, Cossacks had several hundred tons left over and found that nurses had been using them as feminine hygiene. Bubble wrap. It was made to be a textured wallpaper. MTV, aka music television. Not really an invention but IQ test. They were never meant to figure out how smart you were, they were for identifying students who may need additional help. Marshmallows were invented by a dentist to help with sore throats and just ended up becoming well-known snack. Do they still help with sore throats? Asking for myself. Marshmallows, as in the stuff made from the root of the plant, it's been swapped out for gelatin now, were used by the ancient Egyptians for soothing sore throats. So no is the answer, unfortunately. Cotton buds. Not meant for ears, but for cleaning bacteria and removing dust. Amazon used to sell only books. For every pipe cleaner that actually cleans a pipe, 500,000 get twisted into children's art projects. Duct tape, meant to cover holes in ammo boxes, so the ammo doesn't get wet. WD-40 Aqua water displacement, the 40th attempt. WD-40 was invented to keep the outer skin of missiles from rust and corrosion. Slinky was originally meant to be used as springs inside sensitive boat devices. Mechanical engineer Richard James invented the slinky by accident. In 1943, he was working to devise springs that could keep sensitive ship equipment steady at sea. After accidentally knocking some samples off a shelf, he watched in amazement as they gracefully walked down instead of falling. Along with his wife Betty, James developed a plan to turn his invention into the next big novelty toy. Source: National Toy Hall of Fame. QWERTY keyboards. Originally meant to reduce chances of type heads getting stuck to each other on typewriters, now persist in touchscreen keyboards. The pound sign. Edit: for non-US folks, the hashtag we used to call it the pound sign. Sort of still do, but mostly on automated phone calls. Graham crackers. Originally created by Sylvester Graham, who wanted to create a diet that was devoid of pleasurable foods. It is now used to create delicious snacks, and is almost used exclusively for its pleasurable flavor. Phones. They are hardly used for making phone calls anymore. The Cred/cigar lighter in your car. It can't light cigarettes anymore. It's just a charging port. Edit: I didn't know you can still purchase the attachment that turns it into a functioning lighter. I stand by my comment though. It can be used for its original intended purpose, but that's no longer its common function. Daily newspapers. Before TV and even before that radio became so widespread, they used to be the fastest way of getting news and information to people. Nowadays, their emphasis is significantly more on serving as advertising tools, gossip columns, social commentary, etc. than reporting factual news without the extra serving of bullshit on top. Like and subscribe for more videos.